Hello and welcome to Studio 22. I'm your host, Julianne Thomison, and today we will be discussing the dangers of texting while driving. With almost 3 billion text messages being sent every single day, texting pervades all aspects of society. Unfortunately, in certain situations, like driving, this can be devastating. Texting while driving is the #1 cause of distracted driving and the #1 killer of American teens. Today, Oklahoma City University's mass communications professor, Wendy Brunner, joins us to share her own experience in a texting and driving incident. But first, let's take a look at what happens behind the wheel.
How many letters?
5 letters.
Just think about, what am I doing right now?
Smile. Smile?
Uh-huh.
This is so easy.
Welcome back to Studio 22. I'm your host, Julianne Thomison, and today we are with Mass Communications Professor Wendy Brunner. Thank you so much for being here today with us.
My pleasure.
So recently, you were in a car accident due to texting and driving. Can you tell us kind of in detail what happened?
Sure. I was on my way to work to here. Actually, it was first thing in the morning. It was rush hour, and I was on the highway, and it was kind of gridlock, and so traffic was stopped. And I'm sitting there. Fortunately, I had my foot on the brake, and I heard the squeal of tires. And so I had just enough time to look in the rearview mirror, and I realized I was about to get hit. And the driver just creamed the back of my car. When we got out, she was really upset and emotional, and she started apologizing to me, and the very first thing she said was, "I'm so sorry, I looked down at my phone for just a second, I got a text message," and I thought, of course you did. And she said she was only going 15 or 20 miles an hour, but there's just no way. The rear end of my vehicle was crunched kind of all the way back in, and the front of her sedan was crunched all the way. And I know my vehicle was totaled, so that was not 15 or 20 miles an hour. That was somebody who was flying down the highway and didn't realize traffic was stopped.
Wow. And you were on the highway when this happened.
Yes.
Which makes it even more scary with people all around and going fast. And
oh, sure.
That does not sound like a pleasurable experience, that's for sure.
It was not. It wasn't at all. I was lucky in that I wasn't badly hurt. I had some whiplash, that happens when you get rear-ended. But, I mean, on rush hour in the morning, traffic can be moving along at a nice pace, then all of a sudden just stops for no particular reason, and that's what happened. And so, unfortunately, you know how it is. You take your eyes off the road for just a second.
That's all you need,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, and you don't realize that traffic in front of you is stopped, and I think that's exactly what happened. She was probably, going the speed limit, and then all of a sudden, gridlock and whack.
Mm-hmm. So you did end up going to the hospital after that?
I did. It's really common for people who are rear-ended at high speeds to have whiplash, and so I didn't think that I was hurt when it happened, and usually the symptoms of whiplash come along later, and so the paramedics really encouraged me to go to the hospital, and I was really glad that I did.
To make sure everything was okay. And
yeah.
Were you by yourself in the vehicle when that happened, or was she with anyone else at that point?
Both of us were alone in the vehicles, thank goodness. It could have been a lot worse than it was. I had my foot solidly on the brake, and she hit me hard enough so that I kind of tapped the bumper of the person in front of me. And thank goodness my foot was like really hard on the brake. Otherwise, if my vehicle had moved forward, I could have really hit the person in front of me too. So it could have been a lot worse, but it was bad enough.
Absolutely. Well, before this happened to you and you experienced it yourself, have you ever really heard of anyone getting in a texting and driving accident, or did this just become more prevalent when you experienced it?
No, this has been an issue, that I've been aware of for a really long time. We have a staff member here at the university whose stepdaughter was killed in a texting and driving accident. And then years ago, when I worked in news, I saw a horrifying accident where two small children were killed right in front of their mother because of a texting and driving accident. They were in the walkway crossing the street, and a driver who was texting killed those children. And so and that was probably, I would say, 10 years ago, and that was the deciding factor for me. I leave my phone in my purse, and if I have to talk, it's always hands-free. I will never touch my phone while I'm driving.
Well, good for you. I'm so glad that we don't have to worry about you on the road, then. It sounds like. That's great. Well, I was just flabbergasted the other day. I was driving down the road and I saw someone reading a book, eating an apple, and texting on their phone. So
how is that even possible?
I just see the craziest things every single day. So I just appreciate you so much sharing about your experience. And I wanted to show a video. I didn't know if you'd partake in an activity with me.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind
sure.
doing that. Well, it's called the Monkey Business Illusion. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I am fortunate enough to teach at a couple of driving ed courses and do some appearances throughout Oklahoma regarding texting and driving and the dangers of it. And a lot of people don't realize that texting and driving, it actually makes you partially blind because you're focused on your phone instead of on the road. So kind of two things at once.
Yeah.
So I wanted to put up a video and to see if you kind of fall under the temptations or the trick that your mind's going to play on you. So we're going to play a video. The instructions are on the screen, and then I'll talk to you about it afterwards.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
The monkey business illusion. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the ball. The correct answer is 16 passes. Did you spot the gorilla? For people who haven't seen or heard about a video like this before, about half miss the gorilla. If you knew about the gorilla, you probably saw it, but did you notice the curtain changing color or the player on the black team leaving the game? Let's rewind and watch it again. Here comes the gorilla, and there goes a player, and the curtain is changing from red to gold. When you're looking for a gorilla, you often miss other unexpected events. And that's the monkey business illusion. Learn more about this illusion and the original gorilla experiment at theinvisiblegorilla.com.
And we're back. Wendy, what'd you think? Did you see the gorilla?
I'm mortified by how badly I did. I think I only counted 14 passes. I did
14
not.
passes.
I did not see the gorilla at all. I didn't notice the curtain changing color. I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to be a reporter, and I'm not so much with the observant, apparently. That was hilarious.
It's
but
amazing
it's
how hard
scary.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've gotten to show it at a setting with over 500 kids at one time, all from preschool to 5th grade, and they just started cracking up saying, there's the gorilla, but they had no idea that there was other things going on behind the screen as well, too. So you're not alone. There are people who miss it all the time. It's very, very difficult.
That's a great way to illustrate, I think, how easy it is to get distracted. One time I had a student tell me that she felt like she was less concerned about herself texting while she was driving than her mom doing it, because she was like, I've been texting my whole life. I can text without looking at the phone, and my mom can't. And I thought, well, your mom's been driving for probably 30 years, and you haven't. So.
And then, even when you had all that practice, you still cannot ever truly be good at texting behind the wheel.
Oh, no.
So it's crazy, even just little things by, getting distracted, even by the radio or, looking at stoplights or looking at your speedometer.
Sure.
All kinds of things go into play and make you distracted behind the wheel. So thank you so much for participating in the video. I hope I didn't put you on the spot too much.
No, that's hilarious. I'm thinking, can I work this into one of my classes somehow? Like, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it's really
fun.
And next time you'll already know about the gorilla and you'll be way ahead of everyone. You don't even have to tell them that you've seen it before.
I'll just pretend like, wow, I didn't know. I did that on my own.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, we are going to show one more video to close this program. Join the It Can Wait community by taking the pledge to keep your eyes on the road and not at your phone. Let's take a look.
So I just confess that I text and drive. If I get a text, I look at my phone.
It's definitely texting.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Snapchat. I do Snapchat and drive sometimes.
Is that like making Snapchats or watching them?
Making them.
Texting is like my main form of communication.
Boredom, honestly.
And B, well, I guess no, it's really just A.
I've only never done it at stoplights. I've always been really good about it.
The passenger has a pretty important role driving now, where they're like, oh, red light, red light.
If someone that you like texts you, you can't just let it sit there without just knowing what they said.
Because what if something exciting's happening or something happened?
Like, every time I do it, I think about it, I'm like, why am I doing this? And then I just keep doing it.
So I'd like to, want to introduce you to a friend of ours.
My name is JC.
Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Dash.
Justin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I just really quickly want to have a chat, tell you what happened to me. When I was 21 years old, driving home from my college graduation ceremony, driver on his phone was so distracted. He turned left into the intersection at a red light. Another car, an 18-wheeler, swerved to miss him and hit my family's car. And the resulting collision actually killed both of my parents. I spent 2 months in the hospital fighting for my own life, and then 2 more months in a rehab hospital, learning how to walk again, learning how to speak again, learning how to dress myself and how to feed myself. I live with a partially paralyzed body. I didn't have my daddy to walk me down the aisle when I got married.
Having sort of met JC, because you look at JC and sort of give those same reasons.
Usually I use my phone to change a song on. I try to use it as little as possible, but
I'm not gonna look at my phone ever again.
Honestly, if I have been sitting at a red light, I'll glance down to see if my mom's texting me, but the people's lives that are impacted from something that is so stupid.
I can assure you on my drive home right now, I'm not going to use my phone and drive, and I'm not going to do it when I go to work tomorrow and the next day after that until, it becomes a habit, and that just doesn't happen at all.
I know this is hard, and I'm sorry, it's hard for me too, but this is real. You know, the power to really actually make a difference and do something about it.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I just wanted to say, Wendy, thank you so much for being here and talking about your personal experience. Thank you for watching. Remember, don't text and drive, and we'll see you next time on Studio 22.